What's up, everybody? Gonna have strength and conditioning coach up in about 5 minutes. His name is Nate Arreola. He is part of here, the Riverside team here, part of Robert Garcia's gym. He started with RGBA a few years ago. Abner Maris introduced him to the team, and he's been working with several fighters. He's gonna be going live with me. He'll be joining me in about 5 minutes. So I just wanted to check, make sure my battery was good. Wanted to check that my phone was charged, had my questions ready. Just wanted to do a little warm up, make sure everything that I needed I had. Nate Arreola is a general manager for a LA Fitness in Los Angeles, but he trains several fighters out of Team RGBA. So we'll be having him here shortly. It's 5:55. We're scheduled to go on at 6. So I just wanted to jump on and say hi to everybody. Andrea Medina, USA Boxing Olympian. Yes. She is from Bound Boxing. She's trained by her father. I went to their gymnasium in February. I recorded fights, their amateur show there. February, I think the first week in February. There was a lot. I think there was one of the amateur fighters there was ranked #1 in the nation. I forgot his name. I think he's from the Rancho Cucamonga area, Fontana area. But yeah, Andrea Medina was there. She was actually in Colorado when they had that amateur show there in Bound Boxing. So Andrea Medina. Her dad. She said that her dad shared with us that when she came back from Colorado, she has no international bouts. I think going and qualifying for the Olympics was her first time in an international bout, and everybody else on the team has international experience. So this little stretch of time for them to train more is going to serve her well. I think that was direct from Juan Medina, her trainer, her father/trainer. So that's awesome. That's awesome that she gets this extra time, to learn new styles and to get acclimated to those trainers there in Colorado. So it actually works. It actually works out. It's actually better. So we hit up LA Originals, and they're looking into her. Yeah, I haven't caught that. I don't have Netflix, so I haven't seen that LA Originals, but that LA Originals got a lot of exposure. I saw a lot of stuff on it on social media. A cartoon, the art. I'm from LA originally. I'm in San Diego now, but I've known about Cartoon, the tattoo artist, 20, 30 years since I was in my teens. So that's good. You're looking. You hit up LA Originals to maybe document her story, or what's that all about? Cifuentes George 77. I'm gonna make a little bit of aguacate, a little guacamole. Woo! Check that out. Ya estamos listos. 5:58. We're a little bit early, but that's a good thing. We're prepped. We're having Nate Arreola, strength and conditioning coach. In the documentary, amateur boxing coaches should have been included. My point. Oh, absolutely. Especially with Oscar De La Hoya and the Ruelas brothers and Fernando Vargas from Oxnard. Like, there's so much culture in boxing. Absolutely. I agree with you, Cifuentes George. Absolutely. George, if 77 is your birth year, my birth year is 80. So we're from the same era. We're from the same era. Check that out. It came out completely. Who are some Cifuentes? What are some of your favorite fighters from that time from LA? This avocado was perfect. Look at the color. You know? Just waiting on Nate Arreola. We're gonna go live. I'm gonna interview him, get his background, how his life in the boxing world. He is currently training a lot of Dominican fighters out of RGBA in Riverside. So look at that, guys. Mira nomás. Mira qué chulada. Ay, papá. And that was just one. I got two more, but I'm just gonna do one for now. You know? Nate. All right. All right. Request me, Nate, and then I'll accept your invitation, and we'll go live. All right, here we go. Go live with Nate. How many Mexicans in NFL, Mob, NBA? Not many, but in boxing, there's a lot of raza. Mike Tyson and Julio, of course.
What's up?
What's up, Nate? What's happening?
Good, good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Even a dog wants to do the interview, too.
That's good.
See? She's trying to talk over me, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just talking to some of the people that are here live with us, just talking about having you on live and you having, talking to us about your role in boxing. How's quarantine treating you?
Do you want me to be real with you, or do you want me to lie to you? I could lie to you and say it's the best thing that ever happened to me. I could be real with you. It's so boring. Yeah, it's a huge setback. It's like one day you're doing something, and the next day, like, the whole world just shuts down on you.
Yeah.
You know? And it affected not just me, but affected everyone in the whole entire planet.
That's right.
You know,
That's
It's just crazy, you know? I know. How's it treating you?
Well, I'm a third grade and I'm a kinder teacher as of quarantine. Because I got two kids at home now.
Oh.
And they were at school all day before. So now they're with me all day.
Damn.
So you can imagine what having to to stay up with the 8-year-old, almost 9, and then my daughter just 6. Imagine trying to keep up with them, you know?
I get it.
Not only keep up with them, but now you got schools trying to schedule meetings and have them on Zoom calls and ask them to do homework. I'm just trying to get by. I ain't trying to fit your agenda. I'm not trying to. If you want a Zoom call at 1:15, that's too late. I've been working with them all day. I'm not expecting them to do anything at 1:15. We're outside and we're chilling. Woo! Look, I could have. When we were waiting, I did one aguacate. You know?
Yeah.
I was gonna be ready to go.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's where I'm at right now. In doing my history on you, Nate, I did a timeline of your Instagram.
Okay.
So clearly you started your Instagram in 2016.
That's my new Instagram.
That's your new Instagram.
Yeah,
so,
my old one, obviously when you have exes in the days, they hack to your stuff. And yeah, on the other one, I had a lot more followers than this one,
Right.
Yeah. But whatever. Everything happens for a reason, right?
So tell us how you were introduced. Tell us a little bit about your history in boxing.
Well, honestly, I started boxing at 8, 9 years old, City of Commerce. Then from there, obviously, I did a little here and there, and then I did some MMA, but I didn't really like it, but I started doing like the whole strength and conditioning probably when I was like 19, 20, around there. But when you're 19, 20, you don't know what you have in front of you, so you just BS a little bit. And one of the guys that I was lucky to work with at that time was Daniel Ponce de Leon.
Yeah, I found
So
him.
yeah, so it's kind of challenging when you have a 20, 21-year-old trying to coach someone that's kind of like almost twice your age.
Sure.
It's like you could be my dad. But
Sure.
yeah, I have my kid coaching me on what to do and how to do things right. So it worked out, but then it didn't work out. And then
Yeah.
I stopped doing it for a long time, and then a few years later, obviously, I worked for LA Fitness, but I'm back with LA Fitness now. Um, what happened was I'm not gonna say what competitor I was working with at the time, but I happened to meet Daniel Ponce de Leon again, and he was trying to do a comeback fight. But it was, what was it? Remember BKB when it first started?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he was trying to do it again, but for BKB. But after like 2 weeks, he just couldn't handle it himself. And at the end of the day, it's kind of like cool. You work for something, but the only thing with the strength and conditioning side, you have two options that you give your fighters. They pay you per session, or you just go with them and then get what you get in the end of the fights and stuff like that. But at least I got the experience for a little bit of exposure, and I met a fighter, Timothy Lee. I don't know if you ever heard of that guy.
No.
Yeah, he exactly only did 3, 4 fights and he just disappeared. So he was signed with Al Heyman, and he DM'd me one day, and because we had seen each other at when Daniel Ponce had his boxing gym at the time being, and so we started working. His first debut pro fight, he knocked this person out within probably like 10 seconds on the first round. Good
Okay.
stuff. And then second, same thing. And I think his third fight was when he lost by decision and he never came back again, and that was the end of that. And I just didn't have the same motivation because obviously, thinking about those 3 fights that I did with him, I didn't, to motivate someone, you got to take care of your coaches. I'll be real, I didn't get paid for any of those fights. I just did it out of my heart to help this guy out. And
Sure.
obviously, after that, you don't get motivated and you just leave it as this. And then Abner Mares, I know Abner Mares before Abner was Abner, and I'm gonna be real, he knows, and whatever he needs, I'm there for him, and same with him with me, one of the coolest, greatest, awesome friends I could ever have, but then he introduced me to Speedy Mares. I don't know if you heard of everybody hears of Speedy Mares,
Everybody's heard of Speedy. Yeah.
everybody heard of Speedy Mares. So I started working with Speedy Mares, and we did good. His comeback fight from where he came from, he did good. He did a hell of a show. Second fight, third fight, and then from there, things happened, and there you go again. I lost the motivation, and because I feed off of other people's energy. If I feed off your energy, I'm gonna feed off your energy.
Absolutely.
Now, now this is where Mexicanito comes in. We were at Orange County. I forgot the name of the gym. And I happened to run into Mexicanito's dad, I believe, and believe it or not, they got me confused with another strength and conditioning coach. I think they thought, I'm not sure exactly, more or less, but everything happens for a reason. And then think about Mexicanito. We know who Mexicanito is, but during that time, his last fight was at the OC Fairflex when he won that title, and he hasn't had any fights, and I was there during his transition when Mexicanito went with Garcia Boxing. I was there during that time, which was a great move that he could have ever done. Because if he would have stayed where he was, I don't even. They're near me over there. So Mexicanito, I'm glad I started back with Mexicanito, because you seen when he went with Garcia, he wasn't even a ranked fighter to start off. Now he's ranked number 2, number 3 in that weight category, and he became a world champ. I wasn't part of his world training camp, I give that credit to Chepe, obviously, but I was part of his growing as far as from not being ranked to being ranked and from there on, went with Garcia Boxing, but I was introduced with Garcia with Abner Mares, he invited me, I was like, cool, and, and then from there, I started building up more fighters, more confident, and I remember the day when Robert found out I was working with Erick DeLeon. That was the funniest thing ever, because Robert didn't know exactly what I was doing there. but I did earn a lot of respect from Robert when with Jonathan Navarro, with especially Joshua Franco. I worked with Joshua Franco when he first fought Negrete. I don't know if you saw the first fight. It was a hell of a show. Jonathan Navarro helped him out. Who else? I have a big list. I can't even name most of my fighters right now.
I have him. I
Uh,
have him right here in the list.
okay, well, name me all my fighters, cause
Billy Dib. You're
oh yeah,
missing Billy.
Billy Div too, man. Billy Div, it was a crazy story how him and I connected. We met at when Abner trained with Clement at the time, and it was just like whatever. And then out of nowhere, he wanted to work with me and with when he fought in New York, and it was a stupid call. How he after that first round, the guy let's just be real, the guy just threw the fight because he just wanted to make his money, and it was a waste of time for Dib, and it was a waste of time for all of us. And remember, when you fight in New York, it's a lot different fighting out here in California because of the hour difference. So guess what time Billy Dib fought?
What time?
Probably like maybe close to 1 a.m.
Wow.
And it was under Mikey Garcia. So we're all together, and then what's the point of sleeping? We had to leave the hotel at 3:30 in the morning, be at our flight at 5. So we're just like, okay, let's just be up. So I say, if any of my fighters fight in New York, I'll go. But that Sunday, just get ready to be up all day. But like I said, I don't know how Mikey did it, because from there, Mikey went to an event all the way in the Valley. So he was up for about more than 24 hours that night after he beat Broner.
But they do that. They schedule that on purpose. They even when they're in Texas, they will schedule their plane flights right after the main event, right after the show. So en la madrugada, they schedule their plane flight and they're back to Cali.
Except for Broner. Broner's still there an extra day.
Yeah.
But they take care of their brothers. You know how that goes. Al Heyman Promotions and all of them.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, so that's how I pretty much got started. And yeah, a lot of people say how are the training camps, because people see what they see on video. They don't see the work that we have to go through behind the scenes. At least one thing that I give credit for Garcia Boxing, that I don't have to focus on nutrition, because they have their own chefs out there.
That's what I was going to ask you. I was going to ask you if you work with any of the diet.
No. Just with the supplements, more or less. If they need the help, then cool. But I still, when they need the help, as far as online training and whatever they have to eat, then I'll help them out on that point. But if not, hey, you know what? We keep business, and whatever's outside, we have a friendship outside of it. Cool, And a lot of guys, they know I work on loyalty and respect. Obviously, my schedules with them are a lot different than any AFC coach. I don't compare myself with any AFC coach. Everyone specializes in their own attributes, But if you talk to any one of my fighters, they know what time we train, because we ended up. You could ask Navarro, you could ask Josh, you could ask Mexicanito, you could ask Speedy, you could ask Billy Div, you could ask
Esquiva Falcao.
Esquiva Falcao too.
And now you got all the new ones. You got Caballo Bronco, you got Jackson Martinez. I don't know if you're working with Hector Garcia.
Hector Garcia.
Okay.
Hector Garcia. I know, I was supposed to work with...
Nate, give me 1 second.
Go.
There's a lot of your fighters on here. I just want to shout them out, because Abner Mares is on here. Thunder Navarro's on here. Jonathan. Mexicanito's on here. They're showing you a lot of love. They're all chatting with each other on the comments, but you're getting a lot of love in here. So all your people came to see you. Chema Delgado's on here. Jose Maria Chema Delgado.
Wow, they're keeping it professional for once. You don't know what goes on behind the scenes, man.
So I just wanted to say that real quick for the people that are on the live, that a lot of your ex-fighters are on here.
And remember,
current fighters as well.
Yeah, and this is my first interview that I ever decided to do.
Well, thank you for the opportunity. I think this is going to be good. Tell me one thing that I found. Oh, let's talk about the Gonzalez brothers. Those are another brothers that you train.
No, I don't work with them necessarily.
Okay.
I actually just give them access to my gyms when they need it.
All right.
And we support each other. I've known the Gonzalez brothers probably back in 2014. This is the funny thing, Joel could tell you himself, the first time him and I met, I was at Gold's Gym. That's now, I said my competitor where I used to work at. I was giving him a hard time at the front desk, because...
What's up, CC?
I don't want to call out Joel, but he missed the payment. He missed the payment, He missed the payment. But Hey, Navarro's gonna be a dad. Did you read
Yeah, I
that?
just saw that right here. Congratulations.
Wow. Well, I'm Navarro's dad, but I'll be,
You're actually his puppy.
yeah, it's papi, sugar daddy. Anyway,
Bam is on here too. Jesse Rodriguez,
oh
10
shit,
and 10 and 0 from San Antonio. Joshua's little brother. He just joined.
a lot of respect for Bam starting at a young age. Not a lot of people have that opportunity unless you're in TJ.
Yeah.
But we're in Texas, well, where he's from. I could see him being a world champ within, well, I could have seen a world champ within like 4 or 5 months, but obviously due to this quarantine, who knows, it affected everyone's opportunity, but we all have to stay positive during this time. That's all I got to say on that one.
Yeah. Like Bam, like what? So you're saying is Bam's gonna be ready like Fernando Vargas was ready at 14 and 0, like Virgil Ortiz is ready for a world title at 15 and 0.
Mm-hmm.
Those are two prime examples of
Mm-hmm.
people that are light years away of their competition, and they're
Honestly,
ready.
honestly, you could put any of my guys for a world title shot right now. They'll be ready.
That's
They
awesome.
want it. They've been wanting it.
Mexicanito got there at a very young age too.
I know. And what he had to go through from 108 to 105, damn, he was like, he's just, man, he weighed as much as my god kids. And they're still in elementary school.
Yeah.
But I respect the shit out of Mexicanito. He works. I saw your interview. He actually works 7 days a week.
Yeah.
7 days a week. On Sundays, he gets bored, so he just goes to the beach.
Sure.
Saturdays, he goes to Mount Baldy. Everything else, the rest is history. All my guys work hard. I give them all credit for actually being up at 4 in the morning to meet me at the gym, 5, 6 in the morning to do their strength and conditioning work with me. Because a lot of fighters will do that, but to get that routine going from taking that time off, it's hard, and it's hard on me too. Because while they're training, while they're doing their stuff, trust me, they're going through the physical. I'm going through the mental. Designing these regimens, designing these workouts for them. It's not just going into the gym. It's just, hey, we're going to do this and we're going to do this and we're going to do that. But I'm going to be real. One of the things that I learned from social media, never post your work on social media. That's why you'll never see any of our workout videos or anything, because I remember one time we caught someone. This was when Franco fought Negrete. I caught something. So then I'm like, nah, we're not going to do that. And then same thing with, which other fight? I think Navarro was it too. So from those points out, and if we post a video, we're going to just post something funny and stupid, from the
Mm-hmm.
gym. But in that, that's why you never see any workout videos on my post,
What about posting after the fight? After the opponent is done, the fight is done. You either got the win or the draw or the loss. And what about is it just so that you don't give the opponent any edge or any tips? How do you feel about that?
Honestly, what's the number one rule of being a magician?
Never give away your secrets.
Exactly. So even if they win, I'm still gonna post the workout videos.
Okay.
They'll stay safe on my phone.
Sure.
But and then on their phones too. So I already know what to do when they're off season. So one thing that we both agree on, not to post any videos. And if we do post something very, very, very basic.
Sure.
Very basic that anyone could do. Because I noticed one of the workouts that I did posted out of nowhere, I started seeing a lot of the trends. And I'm not going to say I'm going to give myself credit for that workout or anything, but it's just, I just noticed a little difference from there. And then from that, I'm like, okay, then this is why I don't really post a lot of the stuff. And I tell these guys don't post anything. If you guys just take pictures of you guys running or just something really basic, something that everyone does. But when it comes to like our real actual work, then no, But one thing that all my fighters could tell you after we work out, we actually go to Denny's or IHOP after. That's the regimen that we always do. Or Starbucks. I know Franco will tell you. Franco always gets his drink. Falcao gets his coffee. Caballo, same thing. Felix, same thing. Hector, Navarro gets his, gets a little chick drink. Chema, Chema was one of the guys, we were thinking about working together, but, some stuff happened, but, Chema and I, we still got love for each other. Nothing bad happened or anything. It's just different timings, the schedules that I have with my fighters, and then it's, what other fighters? See what I mean? I have a big list of fighters I can't even eat.
Well, you got Louis
Then by the
Goya.
way, also Mexicanito. He's a little aguitado, my bad Mexicanito, Him and I, he still owes me beat by the way, even though he beat me in our pool game,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Based on doing my research, did you get Louis Coria and B Flag
Beef fly.
Macias ready? B Flag ready
Yeah.
for fight in January of 2019?
Mm-hmm. I forgot. Yeah, Louis Correa, B-Fly. I did prep him up. It was kind of challenging during that time because remember we started a week before Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everybody wants to eat.
Everybody wants to eat.
And then you have Christmas, which, you know, makes it kind of harder because when you wake up that early, it's cold. You know, it's not like right now in California, you wake up at 4 or 5 in the morning, the sun's coming. No, you're waking up 4 or 5 in the morning. It's like, you know, 40 something, 50 something degrees outside, you know, and it stays like that. And some days it's just, especially how the holidays around the corner, it makes it challenging. And you got the New Year's, but, you know, it was our times, you know, I kid you not, during that time, the camps were a little bit challenging because of the whole family gatherings and a lot of that stuff. You know, but they did. But, you know, you saw from Luis Correa's last fight to when I started working with them, he knocked the guy out, you know. B-Fly, you know, he did his thing, you know, and he did get a draw. He could have knocked him out, but, hey, it is what it is. Boxing's boxing, right?
Yeah.
But I know they were talking about a rematch because after that, they were just talking smack in the locker room, which is pretty cool, you know. But, hey, you know, shout out to everybody over there for keeping up with the work, waking up early. Trust me, it even takes a toll on me because remember, my schedule starts, I kid you not, 4:30 in the morning when it's training camp. Because remember, I don't just do my strength and conditioning field. I also manage a gym. I work for LA Fitness. I'm a general manager for them. So I don't even get home till 11 o'clock at night sometimes.
Sure.
And that's like Monday through Fridays. And then Saturday's cool. And then Sundays, I just, you know, hang out with the family or whatever happens, you know.
I have a strength and conditioning question for you. How do
Yeah.
you how do you try to avoid? How do you prepare a fighter for the long haul? I know traditionally a fighter lasts 4 or 5 years only in boxing. You know, that's the average span of a fighter's career in boxing. But when you get that one fighter that's going to last 10, 12, possibly even 15 years, I mean, I can name some things off the top of my head, but how for example, Abner Mares, Luis Garcia in his camp
Maris.
for Mares, they were working a lot at the beach. So it's a lot less stress on your knees and on your joints. Talk to me a little bit about that. You don't have to give away your secrets, but I mean, these are things that I catch on. The reason I ask is because I see Canelo with knee braces. I see Andre Ward when he fought with Kovalev. His trainer Virgil Hunter said that he did no road work, which meant he didn't do any running. He was having either to go swimming or having to do the elliptical or other kind of training to keep his weight down. So talk to me about that. Give me your experience on stuff like that.
Well, it depends because honestly, I can't really say I haven't had a fighter that long. Pretty much all my fighters been with me for what 2, 3, 4 years now. Because now I'm taking this strength and conditioning very serious, you know. But one thing is, as far as to make a fighter last that long, as far as road work is, you know, it's cool when they're younger, but as they get older, it takes a lot of strain on their knees, on their joints. So like Virgil does, you know, elliptical does help. It does help a lot. It does help, you know, strain the joints. On top of that, you know, beach work is another phenomenal thing. You know, one thing that I learned a lot from Luis Garcia. You know, I give him a lot of credit for even introducing me to this side of the field. You know, a lot of it doesn't have to necessarily mean going to a gym when it comes to weights, and that's it. You know, you also have CrossFit, you have plyometric training. You know, you also have. Trust me, I could go to the Garcia boxing gym right now and just take out 10 pieces of equipment, and that's pretty much
That's
it.
all you need. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
all you need. You know, the weights is extra. It's just to add the power. But like I said, I'm just gonna stop it right there. As far as, you know, a lot of it also has to do with nutrition. And on top of that has to do with how you take care of yourself when you're not training, when it comes to doing the crowd chamber, the ice baths, you know, and of course getting yourself the massages with no happy endings, you know, just a regular massage, okay? So I don't want my guys getting, I don't want to find out one of my guys is going and getting out like, nah, it's not what I meant. But
that's a serious topic. A lot of people talk about, you know, sex before fights, after fights, and all that. Like, there's guys that talk about 30 days, not not going without it and stuff like that. It's crazy.
It's actually true because you're during the camp, you're building your testosterone level. You know, as far as testosterone is one of the things, you know, that us males have when it comes to straining your legs. Because if you go ahead and do that before a fight, your legs are going to be weak. You know, try not doing that for 30 days. You'll feel the difference. Your body does change a lot. It's a natural steroid. It's a natural steroid compound that us males have in our system. You know, as we get older, it does, you know, disintegrate. So take advantage while you're young. And, you know, a lot of my guys know 30 days is no, you know. Not even with Manuela or Leticia, you know, they just can't. They just can't, you know. They know there's a lot of rules that we throw in play, you know.
Have you ever considered training MMA fighters?
Honestly, that's a field that I'm not really as interested, but it'll be something new. You know, I remember when I trained my first female fighter, which was, believe it or not, Mexicanito's sister, you know,
Cookie.
Cookie Licona. It was challenging because you can't train a female like you train your regular fighters, you know. Gotta take a toll, you know. You gotta make it easier for them, you know. But you seen her performance at the Staples Center, you know, it was different, you know. And you know, the rest is history. But as far as MMA fighter, I believe I know they go through 3 different workouts a day. You know, they do their whatever they have to do in the morning, then they have to go to a judo or jiu-jitsu training, and then they have to go to their kickboxing or Muay Thai, whatever they have to do. You know, I would really have to study that field to get to know exactly what I'm doing. You know,
But it might land on your lap, Nate, because TJ Dillashaw trains out of Oxnard with Lomachenko. There's several fighters that go to Cyborg. Cyborg right now is training with her dad.
I heard.
There's several fighters from that field coming over to gain the boxing knowledge from boxing only trainers. So hopefully you keep your eye out and somebody will contact you. That'd be awesome.
Oh, I know. I'm still working with fighters off, you know, right now as we speak. But honestly, with this whole quarantine, it gives me a lot of more time to focus on a lot of my guys. And, you know, even though I'm not going to exactly say where I train them because due to the quarantine that's going on right now,
Yeah.
I just got to keep that disclosed. Like I said, I'm not posting any of my stuff on social media when it comes to working with them because especially them, you know, because you know how the fans are. We just can't afford that right now, you know.
Yeah.
And I know boxing is going to change a lot when it comes this July, you know, with the purses and everything. And, you know, it's just going to be different fighting with no fans. So you're gonna really hear the chingazos, you know.
Yep.
You know, and no camera people, just straight videos. It's gonna be different. I know it's gonna affect a lot of us in so many ways. And it is what it is, man.
Nate, what city are you from? Where'd you grow up?
Damn, where haven't I not grown up? Yeah, I was born in Almani. I moved a lot as a young child, you know. But in the end of the day, I do reside in Riverside.
Okay.
I do reside in Riverside. I just got my house about a month ago.
Oh, congratulations!
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I just keep that on the low, you know. Yeah, sometimes I'll be in LA hanging out with my godson or with my family. Because honestly, living by yourself, oh my God, it's yeah, it's unique because you're talking to someone that's never ever home, you know. And for me, being home for once, it's challenging because you can only do so much. You know, I've pretty much watched all the Disney Plus movies, Netflix. What else? Yeah, yeah, man. But at least I'm able to leave for a few hours to go train my fighters. You know, I could do that. You know, but other than that, you know, we still go to, believe it or not, we still go to Mount Ruby Doo, even though we're not supposed to.
Sure.
You know, I'll get the fine. We'll get the fine. Why not? We just don't post any of that. We'll do our work at the park, which we're not supposed to. I'm not gonna say which park. You know, I still have access to a gym. I'm not gonna say which one either, but we're still doing our thing. You know.
Yep.
You know, because we gotta stay ready. Because you know, we're gonna have that green light in July, and we're gonna have. I predict at least 4 or 5 fights every single weekend. You know.
Yeah, Robert did an interview yesterday, and he said you might not get the cards with 10 fights again,
Mm-mm.
but you're gonna get them. You're gonna get them a lot more often, but on 3 and 4 fight cards, because there's no if there's gonna be no audience. Us that follow boxing know that when there's a card for the first 2-3 hours, nobody shows up. The fighters that are 6 rounders, sometimes even 8 rounders, are fighting in empty arenas. It's just the way it is. And then the sun goes down and everybody shows up for the co-main event and the main event. So he said that the cards are gonna get a lot smaller. I saw on your Instagram that you ride a motorcycle. How's that?
Yeah.
How's that ride?
I'm actually learning. This quarantine gave me a lot of freedom, you know. So honestly, I kid you not, this quarantine did help me a lot. Now that I have a little free time, you know, I did start focusing. I'm learning the stock market, believe it or not. I did invest. I started my investments in the stock market a little bit more now than before, and it's going up like crazy. I always wanted to ride a bike, and I learned here and there, but now I'm learning. You know, shout out to my boy Jose and Patrick. You know, they're teaching me how to ride a bike. You know, hopefully in 2-3 weeks I'll get myself a motorcycle. I'm looking at the Kawasaki 600 to start with, and then I did buy my Dodge Charger RT about a month ago. I named my car Rona because I bought it during Corona. You know, best name of it, right?
Yeah.
Got my house, which is cool, you know. So I felt like I did a lot more stuff now because I don't know, just I just have that free time, you know. So I'm able to do a lot of stuff, you know, and the interest rates and everything is just a lot lower now. And you know, hopefully when all this is over, you know, I could see my investments finally going up. You know, I did modify the car already after a month because I finally broke the engine in.
Yeah.
You know, I haven't got pulled over yet because they're not pulling people over. So I'm going 140
Yeah.
miles on the freeway. I'm not lying. It's on my storyline.
Yeah.
And hopefully I get my bike in probably next week. You know,
I did
so
I
go
did
on.
I did I did the same thing. I bought my house at the end of the recession. The recession hit
Mm-hmm.
what, 08, 09,
Mm-hmm.
and then we were in it for a few years, and then I bought my house at the bottom of the market. So I
Mm-hmm.
think I moved in like February of 2013.
Mm-hmm.
So I bought at the perfect time. Like you said, the interest rate was
But you
really,
know,
really low.
what sucks though?
What's that?
I can't even buy furniture right now.
Yeah, there's no stores that are open.
Walmart, but all I bought was a TV and a sleeping bag. That's all I could get for now.
That's funny. That's so funny.
You know, so you go to the house, I'm like, dude, who'd you steal it from? Like, nah, it's just I'm able to buy my pots and pans and all the necessities that I need, you know, for my kitchen, you know. And of
Yeah.
course, the towels, the shampoos, the essentials that you need to keep your hygiene going and
Yeah.
wash and dryer, and that's pretty much it. But as far as the furniture, I got no furniture yet. You know, I'm not broke or anything. It's just, you know, I don't have it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Nate, outside the fighters that you
Hmm.
train, who would be your dream fighter to train? Just have one opportunity to train them just for one fight, or it could even be from the past
So in the past, shoot.
or present, doesn't matter.
Well, there's a lot of fighters I would like to work with, you know.
Yeah.
Um, I know Oscar Valdez for a very, very long time.
Okay.
Another guy is hopefully, you know, to have an opportunity to work with Virgil once again. You know, obviously, you know, my work speaks for itself. Um, Abner Modest and I, you know, we're cool, we're friends, and I like to keep it that way with this. But he knows if he needs help, he knows I'm there for him. You know, no matter what. You know.
Sure.
Shoot, actually, all the fighters I'm with now, I'm happy with them because remember, I started with all of them when they had nothing. You
Right.
know, they had nothing going. You know, and beginning of the work, I had to accept the fact that I'm only gonna make percentage 3-4% of what they make. You know, in the beginning, it's not a lot,
Right.
but in the end, at least, you know, my biggest accomplishment for all my fighters is not just being there for them as a coach. They know they can call me every single day. They call me at 1, 2 in the morning, you know.
Yeah.
I'll Uber them wherever they need. My biggest thing with the fighters is not just training, it's just seeing them grow as an individual, as a person, you know, and also make sure that I don't do dumb things, you know.
Yeah.
And as long as their lifestyle changes for the better, their financials do change for the better, they know they're growing up as far as their own house, their own cars, their personal goals. That's what makes me happy, because that's what I do as general manager for LA Fitness. I don't just hire people and train them. I want to help them grow as an individual with whatever they need. And same thing
That's
with
awesome.
them. I'm not just a coach, I'm a teacher for them too. And as far as helping them invest in whatever they have to do, I'm just not their coach. I'm more than that, and they know that. And if not, no, they know that.
That reminds me of the relationship between Julian J. Rock Williams and Steven Breadman. It's a lot more than just a trainer-fighter relationship. They like you mentioned, they invest together. They go into business together. They flip homes together. They remodel apartments. They do all kinds of stuff. So that's awesome. That's awesome. Hey, can I get your how do you think the Oscar Valdez Berchet, Miguel Berchet fight plays out?
I'm gonna support Oscar if that was to happen.
Yeah,
honestly, there's a lot of big fights that are in the works.
Yeah.
But in my personal opinion, I don't even think they should be doing them right now as we speak.
Okay.
Take a sales. Yeah, they're gonna get more views from Showtime, HBO, and whatever, But as far as the purses or what they're gonna make, they're not gonna make the same as if they were to fought last year before the whole Corona thing,
Yeah.
So, for example, $1 million, like Robert said, a fighter that fights for millions, Let's say he'll fight for $1 million. He's going to have to accept the fact that he's going to take a $300,000 pay cut. And that's before taxes.
Yeah.
You have those fighters that are fighting 15, 20 for $25,000. They got to accept that maybe they're going to take a $5,000 to $10,000 pay cut. Us coaches have to accept that we're going to take a pay cut as well. So this is where it's going to show everyone loyalty. People, are they going to be there for you during this time? Or are they going to be there for you just for the money and just leave you in the end, But once all this is said and done, you're going to see who your true people are and who are not going to be there for you. But after all this is done, I'm going to tell you this. All my fighters are going to come out and they're going to blow it up,
That's awesome. So, that's awesome. I remember Brandon Rios said he fought for $1,500 one time.
Yeah, that was funny. That was funny.
You got something in common with Mikey. You like to shoot guns.
Yeah, I kept that on the low, started, honestly, yeah, shooting guns, it was a little hobby, obviously, we're trying to get ready for the Corona. I was expecting a zombie apocalypse, with all these zombies and stuff like that, but, it didn't happen. I got to give a shout out to my boy Ali. He's one of my boys on the live thing right now, He bought he actually bought C4, and we blew it up, Not messing with you, we didn't do that. The reason why I said that case Middle Eastern,
Yeah. So you're
but yeah, so last Sunday was very epic, and yeah, I came out sunburned. That's why you see I was covering my whole body except my face. My face was all red. But it was fun, we had fun, A lot of people, ask me, you should be, what's that word? What's that brain fart? You should be isolated. You should be this. You should be that. And I'm like, I agree with you, but if you're going to get the Corona, a lot of people are saying they're going to die or this and that. So why you want to die in your house? You need to go out and explore, do things that you always wanted to do. And that stopped you from, the only thing that stopped you from doing all the stuff that you're doing now was your career and your job. So that's why I'm doing a lot more, like learning how to ride bikes, shooting. But don't get me wrong, I'm still working. this is the crazy, because a lot of guys that go shooting with us, there are a lot of managers from LA Fitness. So we still kind of do our own training, so we don't, get off track of when we come back. And of course, the reason why I keep working with my fighters right now as we speak, I don't want to lose the momentum with them, and I don't want to just go back and be like, shoot, where do we start? You always gotta, be active when it comes to your professions.
Some of the biggest news today that hit was Andy Ruiz finalizing a deal with Eddie Reynoso.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
We're gonna see a different Andy. Think about it. Oscar Valdez used to work with Manuel Robles.
Yeah.
And then he went with
Eddie.
Eddie. And look at the difference. Huge difference. Now I'm just thinking, let's see what kind of difference Andy Ruiz, as far as his boxing, because think about it, Andy Ruiz has a great career, and he still has a few more years in front of him. I'm just curious to know what Eddie's gonna do to change his style, and that's gonna be a very, very awesome opportunity for both guys. Nothing but love for both of them. That's gonna be interesting to see how Andy, the change of Andy. Think about it. He used to train right here in Norwalk. Now he's gonna be going to San Diego, and where does he live?
El Centro.
Exactly. So he's gonna have to find. Well, he has the money now, so he could just buy himself a place, and I think he didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. So so it should be a little bit easier for him now. Yeah.
Aren't you so glad that Eddie loaded up his stable in 2019?
Mm-hmm.
He went from working with Canelo. He
Only.
added only, and then he added Oscar.
Mm-hmm.
Then he added Ryan Garcia,
And then Eddie.
and then he added
Ryan's brother. Ryan's brother.
Mm-hmm. Then he added Martinez. Martinez has probably been there before these 2 and 3, but
Yeah.
But Julio Cesar Martinez, El Rey, from Mexico City.
Mm-hmm.
Frank Sanchez, a heavyweight.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Castro, the amateur that's now signed to Matchroom, was there, was on his timeline. So I know Mark Castro's been there.
Exactly.
And I always thought, Eddie. I mean, he's done so many great game plans and so many great camps for Canelo. I just think it's amazing that he is now spreading more of his knowledge to that many more fighters. What's your opinion on that?
As far as my opinion on that, honestly, what was the question again? I'm sorry. I was just reading the comments below.
How do you feel now that Eddie's loaded up his stable, opposed to 2 years ago when he was just with Canelo, and now he's got like 8, 9 champion fighters? Luis Netti. We forgot Luis Netti. He's got Luis Netti now.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't know Eddie that well, but I know for a fact he could have loaded up his stable a long time ago. But I think what he really wanted to do, he really wanted to just focus on Canelo. Like, for example, I'm just going to focus on one fighter, and then okay, cool. So we got it going. So then I think now he's finally realizing, okay, I'm going to add a few more fighters. And I noticed with Eddie, I'm just seeing I think he's very selective of the people he works with.
Yeah.
Because same thing with me, I'm very selective of the fighters. I don't just grab a fighter and I just start working with them. I look at the timeline,
Yeah.
When I started, I only had like 2 fighters. Now I can't even remember the list of fighters I have,
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, no. What were you going to say?
One of my favorites on your roster is Erick DeLeon.
Oh, that guy's a beast. Oh, my God.
That guy works so hard. People don't even know how hard that guy works.
Honestly, I remember when I first started training Erick, it was one of my toughest fighters to work with. The fact that he's always training, the fact that he's always active, and when I started with him, remember he was fighting, what was that fighter? He's from the Bay Area, El Tiburon.
Okay. Oh, Andy Vences.
Yeah, that's when he fought him, and I'm like, shit, okay, well, I remember the first few sessions I was with Erick, he's like, that's it. I'm like, I'm barely getting started with you. But I didn't know his background, I didn't know he was always active.
Yeah.
So I started finally I started doing my research with him. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna make this guy throw up. I was this close to making him throwing up. I'm like, all right, I know your limit now, But obviously you see the end result when he fought Andy Vences. And I'll be real with you, I don't care what Andy says about this, but Erick did win that fight. He won that fight fair and square, but it is what it is. They rather get, do favoritism and, hopefully they fight again.
Sure.
Because I know if this time they fight again, I kid you not, Erick's going to do his thing. More than what he did on the last fight. And think about it, Andy Vences doesn't even want to take his challenge anymore.
Yeah.
We challenged him more than once. After that fight, he's backing off, And if he's watching this video, hey, now you know what's up, And, we're just going to keep on moving forward with our careers. And if the opportunity does happen again, then cool. We'll be ready. Just make sure he's ready for that smoke. And if not, then hey, it is what it is,
Sure. Another guy who took a L last year and got a new trainer. Well, it's not completely signed, but he let the cat out of the bag yesterday. Is that Carlos Valderas is joining up with Buddy McGirt. So that's pretty big news. That's pretty big news. You know, Carlos has been trained mostly by his dad, and you know, he impressed me so much on the interview. He said that the Al showed him so many things that he can work on, and so much more. I love the kid like 10 times more now because the cockiness the L humbled him, you know.
Honestly, with a lot of fighters that are undefeated and they finally get that first loss, it humbles them, and it makes them realize a lot of things, that they could be undefeated and they could just be doing whatever they want. And hey, you know, if you guys don't believe in God, I believe in God. You know, if he sees something, he's gonna make something happen for you, just so you could realize. And if that requires for you to take a loss in your career for you to finally snap out of it, then he's gonna do what he has to do. Just like this coronavirus right now, you know, a lot of us took things for granted. You know, a lot of us took things for granted when it comes going to a restaurant and having the waiter say, "Would you like to get started with appetizers?" We took that for granted. You know, shoot, I miss that. I miss going to a restaurant and be like, "Hey, would you like to start with appetizers?" Like, no, thank you. Now, when I go to my first restaurant, we like, yes, I would love some appetizers. You know, you know, yes, I would love some appetizers. You know, sure, bring me the whole freaking list. Hey, I missed you too. You know, and I'm gonna give you a tip. And one of the things I learned as well, I thought I learned how to wash a car. I'm never doing that again. So if my car wash dude is washing, I'm gonna give you a $10 tip from now on, because that's just hard.
Yeah.
You know, I cleaned the house. I'm like, I'm not doing that again. That's work. You know.
Yeah.
I did a lot of things I never thought I would actually do, like gardening and all that stuff. Like, nah, I'm just gonna start tipping these people more. You know, it's too much work.
Yeah.
I got dark.
I always try to tip the guy who washes my truck, the shop that I go to. I always used to give him like $5, $6, $7. But then they found out that I was a good tipper, so then they started fighting. The way the car wash works where I go is it goes through a machine, and then they pull them out and dry them. But there's a crew of like 10 guys. But once they got used to seeing my truck, they'd fight for it, and I was like, like I don't need people fighting over my tip, you know.
That's how you get paid, by the tip, you know.
Yeah. Let me see, where am I at? Oh, I wanted to talk about the Abner Mares. People don't know this, but his first fight with Robert for that Jesus Cuellar fight, I believe, was canceled twice.
Yeah.
I think he was in camp literally 8 or 9 months. I think originally it was scheduled for the summer. It got canceled. Then it was scheduled for the fall.
In New York.
Canceled.
And then in December.
And then it ended up here in LA. I actually went to it. I treated my dad. It was my dad. My dad's birthday's in October. So
hey, is he a Scorpio?
No, I'm a Scorpio.
Me too. Halloween. I'm a Scorpio too.
So I drove from San Diego, picked up my dad in Chino, drove all the way to USC. We had a couple beers in the parking lot.
Of course, pre-gamed. And then when we went in, we saw Sergey Lipinets versus Lenny Zapovinia. That was the end of that. It was a bloodbath. One of them was bleeding badly. And then we saw J-Rock get knocked out by Charlo. Oh yeah.
We saw that live.
And then Speedy fought in that card. He went up in weight, I think.
Yeah, we didn't catch Speedy. We just caught the last 3. But you know where I did catch Speedy? I got Speedy at the stub at the Stub Hub.
Oh my God! You just brought me a flashback. I remember when he fought at the Stub Hub. After his fight, he was supposed to get stitched.
And he went up into the round. He went up to talk to us, the fans. And he's got a big old gash.
Yeah, I remember that.
He's sitting there just shaking our hands, taking pictures.
And I'm right. And I'm saying, we gotta get you right. He's like, no. And then next thing you know, he grabs a Corona and starts drinking.
That was fantastic. That's Speedy for you, right?
And I kid you not, the arena smells like weed too. But that's just my opinion. But
it's open.
It's open.
It still smelled like that.
Yeah. Didn't the whole arena smell like weed too? That's how you knew there was Speedy Mares fans, you know. When Speedy fights, trust me, the whole BG gang comes out. You know, it's funny. You know, it's just like, wow. I'm like, oh, you're now like, yeah. And they always said we're from B. I'm like, oh, okay, cool, we got your back. I'm like, hey, don't trip, thank you. I'm just here to work with Speedy. I don't want any trouble. Like, what trouble? We're here to, if there's any trouble, we're here to gonna, back you up. I'm like, nah, let's just do our thing, it's cool. Kind of like, a lot of his homies know me. So it's kind of like, it's an honor, it's a privilege, it's just, honestly, one of my craziest fighters would be Speedy Mares, his fans, I kid you not, he could do a fight tomorrow and he will sell out the whole entire arena. You bring the whole raza with him,
Yeah.
That'll be a competition if him and Abner fought. Let's see who the fans are for Ab or for Speedy. But I think they're for both. But it's just, it's crazy, They both, we all came from the hood, And it is, and it's just crazy how we all turned out to be, We improved ourselves in a better way.
What do you think about that Jojo from El Monte versus Hawaiian Garden Abner?
That's funny because they're both my boys.
Yeah.
But Jojo started calling them out, and I was telling Abner, hey, what's up with you and this anti-bullying? Why are people picking on you? You have Joseph Diaz calling you out. Yeah, Billy Dib calling you out.
Yeah.
Who else there's somebody else calling them out too. I forgot who it was. But I'm like, damn, I thought, what's up with this anti-bullying? They're picking on you, man. But once this Roma's over, they just got to make sure they're ready for it, even though they're both all three of them are my boys, But for that, I'm going to go there and watch it as a fan. I'm not going to work with anybody, I just can't, just out of the respect. I don't want to be, you're with this. I'm like, nah, I'll go watch the fight as a fan.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Jojo kept it real, though, in an interview. He gave it either yesterday or the day before. He said,
I think he's getting interviewed right now.
Is he going to get interviewed right now?
Yeah.
He said, I want Mares 100%. He says, yes, I'd like to fight him, but I want, it's his health more than the money we're going to make from fighting each other. And I thought that was really that touched me because that's badass. He says, if he passes all his medicals, then we're good to go.
Yeah.
But that's a heart to heart, saying, I'd rather this dude have health and be able to see his grandkids. Yeah. Instead of make a, I mean, they make a lot of money, but relative to your life, it doesn't compare.
Exactly.
Right.
Nowadays you got to look at each other's health, look at back in the 80s, people were, or 70s, people were running 15 round fights, people were sparring every single day, and
every day
from all that head trauma and everything, people are sparring 3 days out of the week. Usually back in the days, people would spar even during, a week before fight week. Well, obviously every day, but I think they would still spar 4 days before the fight too, no? Or even during that time, So a lot of things have changed a lot, went from 15 rounds to 12 rounds and, not a lot of sparring as before. And if you're not good at spar, you're not going to spar. Back then, if you weren't feeling good, just walk it off. You're going to spar anyway, So it's crazy how everything's evolved. And now, especially with this role, like I'm saying, everything's going to change a lot, And it's still going to change after this.
What do you like in Teofimo versus Lomachenko?
Lomachenko.
You like Loma?
Yeah.
Nice.
He'll be a fighter I would want to work with too.
Yeah.
Loma's
a beast.
Yeah, he'll be a beast, But
Loma spars TJ Dillashaw.
I heard.
Yeah, right there in the laboratory, Robert's old gym.
Oh damn! I know Robert from Oxnard to Riverside now too.
Yeah.
We all had to make the moves.
Just to wrap it up, where do you see yourself in 5 years, and where do you see yourself in 10?
Let's see. Well, I accomplished a lot, as we speak, Now, when you say where I see myself in 5 years and where I see myself in 10 years, be more specific, more or less.
Boxing wise.
Well, shoot, I see myself within the 5 years, hopefully making 4 times 5 is 20 world champs, and hopefully in 10, hopefully 30. Because remember, all the fighters I have, they're world champions.
They're ready to go now.
They're ready to go. It's just a matter
contenders.
That's what I'm saying. If you would have this interview with me when I first started, I would just tell you I'm not sure. But honestly, all my fighters are ready to go for a world title. You could put Franco tomorrow, he'll be ready. You could put Esquiva, he'll be ready. Mexicanito's been ready. He's already proven himself once. Became world champ. Navarro, he's been ready. Who else? Who else? What other fighters? Billy Dib will be ready. He wants to know. I'm saying See, I can't even list all my fighters right now. That's how many, that's how big my roster is. You know,
Yeah.
you can even put Virgil Ortiz for a world title. He'll be ready too. You know.
Hey Nate, I got 10 seconds to go.
Uh-huh.
Let's
All right,
keep
go on,
jumping
go
on
on.
right now.
All right, go.
Let's jump on again, and then we'll say bye to everybody.
All right.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. I just realized I forgot to record this interview.
I think I can send it. I think when I end it, I
Mm-hmm.
can record it. It'll run the length of it
Mm-hmm.
for your own reasons.
Mm-hmm. For
But
years.